Booth pregame.
You ready? No debate, cause it's off. I'm too official, got the drip, I got the sauce. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, yeah. Still standing and defiant, slay the competition cause I'm walking like a giant. Bring the proof when it's time to tell the truth. I'll be at the corner booth, find me in the corner booth, corner booth.
I see as well. Kate, I feel like I have not officially said this. I've tiptoed around it. Kate, will you marry me?
Do I have to answer now? Or
No, you have time. You can think about it. You can think about a way to say no without hurting my feelings if you want.
Oh
lovely. I'll send you a letter.
Just don't even.
Right, cool. Thank you. Shit. I'll send you my address later so you can send it to my house.
Yeah, I'm never giving you my address. I don't want you getting that close.
Oh, I know.
Somebody asked me why I don't change out of that intro, and it's for the simple reason I love my boy Kevin so much that I will never take that proposal off. AJ, I'm going to be paying that at his fucking wedding. Okay, like I'm going to like it's not going to be that girl. It's going to be some other girl, and me and Pat and whoever else is involved in those shenanigans will all play it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Corner Booth pregame, the Javon Curse episode. Throwback to one of my OG favorite players when I was a kid. I had the 93 Eagles jersey. I will not be ashamed to admit it. Joining me, this handsome gentleman to my right, AJ Johnson of Sac City Podcast, recent graduate of Full Sail University. Congratulations, my man.
Yeah, look at me doing big things in life or something.
Listen, I mean, you're doing bigger things than your football team's doing right now. I love the Mariota move, though. I do love the Mariota move. I love that. Like,
I tolerate it.
Listen, I wanted your opinion. I forgot to text you about it because, like, honestly, when I think of Falcons fans, I know 3 people. 2 of them I fucking hate. Then there's you. So, and everyone knows I'm a very opinionated person. Obviously, I generally let you know how my feelings are about you in earnest. Like your co-host is still in my fucking doghouse, but that's a whole nother story. I mean, should we tell the folks why I'm pissed? So mad at Vinny.
Is it still about Bama? I mean,
well,
is there more to it?
Listen. Two of my 10 best friends are Bama fans. I don't give a fuck about Bama. It's like
nobody
tied, man. I root for them. Like two of my favorite players are from Alabama. It's like, fuck, I don't give a shit. What pissed me off was I am a contractor. I had a corporate job at 6 a.m. the next morning. I had to be there at 6 a.m. It's an hour drive from my house. So I'd, get up hour, 10 minutes, everything else. So 4 a.m. start time. So I told you always listen. I know you do. You're very detail oriented. I told you and Vinny, I said, guys, I have to be off the air by 9:45. I have to be asleep by 10. I have to be up at 4. I get on at 9:15, punctual. He said, yeah. Vinny said, get on 15 minutes early or 10 minutes early, whatever it was. I'm there 10 minutes before. And, Kurt Steele, shout out to our former colleague, literally just, chatting away about the NFC North, spewing some straight up bullshit takes. This man said the Minnesota Vikings were going to win the division. I almost fell out of my seat. I was like, what?
You weren't alone.
I was like, huh? So anyway, him and the 2 of you guys start ranting. And I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, wait a minute, I signed up for 9:30. What the fuck is this bullshit? 9:35, 9:45, 9:56. I am literally about to dip. And he said, joining us now. And he starts ripping me to shit about not only my Hurricanes getting smacked around by Alabama, which was inevitable.
That's your own
We knew
fault.
it was going to happen. Listen, you're a Florida State fan.
You
Y'all lost the number 1 recruit in the country of fucking Jackson State.
Man, it's Deion Primetime Sanders. I ain't mad at it. Hey, go represent HBCUs, bro. Get that paper on the NIL.
I ain't about the HBCUs. I just love laughing at Florida State.
Yeah, it's cool.
And listen,
all my teams blow leads.
Doesn't Mike Norvell have an NIL holdout to deal with at this point now?
He probably will, but at the same time, college is a shit show at this point. Like, everyone's just making whatever money they want, and then they just give it back, or they take it away, or they get suspended.
No.
They're gonna find ways to fuck it all up.
What you don't understand is that they were doing this all the way anyway. Just now they can do it above the table and they won't get fucking sanctions for it.
Give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Just saying.
Yeah. Let's be honest, that ain't fucking happening.
It's not happening, but
yeah, because the NCAA is literally the worst organization in sports. I hate them so much. And you know what the worst part is? I'm going to have to deal with them at some point in my life, and I know that comment I just made is going to bite me in the ass at some point.
Yeah. It's nothing. Nobody who hasn't been affiliated with the NCAA, not sitting around that conference table, hasn't said before. They know it. They probably go home and laugh about it. It's probably how they sleep well at night. Don't lose an ounce over saying the NCAA is
Mark
the worst.
Emmert is a vampire. Mark Emmert's a vampire because he sucks on the blood of in life of all the NCAA athletes that he
every single one. Trying
basically
to keep that old school feel about it. Nah.
Oh my god! I mean, we could also talk about the fact that some of these coaches act like they're like authoritarian gods, but that's a whole nother dinosaur of an issue. So, I will say this: we'll talk about Final Four in a little bit, obviously, but Vinny basically then starts talking shit from the perspective of a Jaguars fan. I'm like, bruh, how can you even hate in the club? Y'all can't even get in.
Yeah.
And so it was just the way he was going at me. And I was just, you know what? I literally got off the camera, flicked off the TV, and walked off. I was just done after the show. I'm like, listen, got much love for AJ and the rest of the boys. Vinny's dead to me.
Oh, he'll make it up one day, I'm sure. But then again, that's me just lying because it just sounds good.
I don't know. Maybe when Miami wins their next national title, I'm not sure. Listen, they're getting close, man. Crystal ball higher. That's coaching staff. Woo!
Bruh, y'all are about to flop again, just like you always fucking do.
Okay. All right, we're gonna make a live bet. You want to make a live bet on this?
Sure, depending on what it is. I just want you to know before you go on. I watched Jay Williams and Vince Carter try to make a live bet today where Jay Williams wanted Vince Carter to put on a bib and a baby hat and a pacifier and call Duke Daddy. We ain't going
for $20 over Venmo, bro. What kind of bullshit is this?
I ain't wearing no baby shit calling nobody daddy if that's where we're going. That's not how I roll.
Listen, we all know Jay Williams is in some weird ass shit, so it's all good. Oh my god. Anyway, all I'm saying is, so Miami's projected right now. I think the over/under for Vegas is 8.5 wins. I say they'll be a double-digit win team this year.
Ooh, I will take that bet.
All right, $20 on double-digit wins.
Yeah, absolutely. You might get to 9. I don't. Yeah, it's
It's
not your fault. It's just everyone around you.
He's in a weird spot.
They really are.
We're out for blood against you guys because last year I got to give you credit. You guys fought till the end. And you guys made it happen, and I was more mad I lost money on that game than I was that we lost to you guys because I'm like, I can't be mad.
It shouldn't be. It's not your fault. It's a game we get up for. You understand how Florida State, Miami works. Every year, every sport, don't matter what it is. We could all be the worst teams in the conference, but for those games, more often than not, they're gonna show up. The only time that's been like disproven is when it was like Florida State and Clemson, and just Clemson was just on a whole nother level. Same could be said when we were on a whole nother level in 2013 and 14, and Florida State was doing the damn thing. But look, Miami. I do like the crystal ball hire. I can't lie. I think that's a good one. I also like the Jason Taylor hire. I think that's a good one. I think that's a big step in the right direction.
Hire, surprised me. I was like, my homeboy got the only reason Miami connection with the Dolphins is that both of his kids played at St. Thomas Aquinas. But it's like Aquinas, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know.
That one, Aquinas.
Yeah, the loaded ass high school in Florida. Which one?
Right, that's what we do in Florida.
That's the reason. Football the state of Miami is literally a real thing. Literally 100%. From Tampa to Daytona. Anything below that, if Miami just recruited that, they win a national title next year.
I can't argue that fact. I mean, we got tired of everyone saying Texas is the state of football and they run it all. Sure, there's some good recruits, but ain't shit like Florida. The speed.
Texas produces good defensive, good linebackers, and good power backs. You go up north to the mountain lands for the hogs in the middle.
Yeah.
Then you go out to Pennsylvania for the brainy quarterbacks. You go to Cali for the swaggy ones. And you go to South Beach for everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. You want some skill. You want some talent. You want some, oh, wow. You want some step out of the game athletics. You want some shit that you ain't never seen in your life. You get that out of Florida, man. You get that at the Panhandle. That's why everyone hates us. They talk about we're just weak and weird. Nah, that ain't it. Y'all jealous. Anyone in any other state, I get it. It's okay. Florida's the shit. Y'all know it. We know it. We live it.
Listen, I'm trying to move to Florida because of how much I love that state. So it's like
But listen, no, we're done. We are at capacity. We're over it.
Listen, I am more Florida than I have. I have a buddy who's I have a couple friends from Florida. One of them being my good friend Cruz Oxenrider, and he says, "Shout out." Congrats to my man Cruz, by the way, for landing the DraftKings sponsorship. Big shout out to Cruz.
Oh yeah.
Him and check out. I know they're not affiliated with us anymore, but check out the Oxcord podcast. I was a guest on a few weeks ago when I called in live bet North Carolina to the national title, and so far I'm looking okay so far.
Ooh, we're gonna get into that. That's a fun one.
Oh, don't tell me you're a Dookie. I'll kick you right off.
Ooh, hold on. That it depends on what you're asking me. Like, are you asking me if I'm a fan, or are you asking me if I'm planning on picking them to win?
If you a fan, but I know you ain't you a Seminole.
Will never say the word fan of Duke. However, if there wasn't Florida State, I actually would be a fan of Duke. When I started as a child and loving basketball, Duke was the standard, So like I grew up watching that with them and UNC and everything, but Florida State grabbed the heart, and I went on. I had to let Duke fall by the wayside, So every time, I still feel that Cam Reddish 3 on the wing side. For like, how the hell you let that happen? I digress. But we'll talk about how that game plays out in a little bit. I do think this Final Four is going to be fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I just am like, so I scheduled my weekend around the Final Four. So basically, my buddy, he's an officer of the law, serving the great terrifying city of Waterbury, Connecticut. I haven't seen him in weeks. Got a new girlfriend. She takes up all his time, and I'm happy for him. That's my dog. I love him to death. But oh my Lord, sometimes it's hard to It's sometimes hard to deal with, his schedule and mine, because he works nights, I work days. So he texts me, he goes, "Yeah, man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing Saturday?" He goes, "We're linking up." And he goes, "Oh yeah, let's grab some food in the bar. Let's hang out and do something." I'm like, "Listen, 9:15 or 9:30, I'm out. Like, or
can't be here, buddy."
No, it's North Carolina Duke. And listen, I've been a North Carolina fan for only one sport, for basketball, since I was 6 years old. I hate them for every other sport. But for basketball, I take the hat out of the closet. I take the Jordan hoodie out. It's on, man. This is it.
Got to be in a certain chair. Got to be sitting with the right snacks, the right
got to be drinking the right beers.
Because I'm like, wait, you're telling me you're gonna leave a bar to watch the game? And I was kind of confused for a minute.
It's just it's weird. I get made fun of. I had my boy Frank Michael Smith on the show last week. Shout out to man, Big Frank, for coming on. By the way, congrats to him for 1 billion views on YouTube and TikTok combined. That is insane. He's killing the game, man. He's just doing it right. But anyway, oh my god, dude, I pick his brain every time I get a second. Are you kidding me? I ask that man more questions about media than I probably ever should. But you know what? He's a good friend and a good guy, and I always tell people to go check out his content right away. So, I guess we'll start talking Final Four. Fuck it. Because it's definitely the biggest news of the night. I mean, we could talk Bruce Arians quicker. Actually, we'll do football first. I'm
gonna say we can flow. I'm about whatever.
Yeah, we can flow.
Chill, drink some brews, talk some sports.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good. I'm trying to bring more people in right now. One of my guests, unfortunately, had a medical emergency. He cannot make it, unfortunately. So his reveal. Pray for him and his pup Bandit. Much love to my nephew Bandit. I love that dog. So yeah, no. First off, Final Four. One, the odds aren't great for either team, okay? So, betting odds, you're only getting a plus 165 right now, at least on DraftKings, is the only one I read off of, for North Carolina to win money line. You're getting minus 160 for Duke. Same thing, you go over the other side of the spectrum, it's 160 or 170 for Villanova and 110 for freaking Kansas. They are handicapping the shit out of this game, and it's not fun. Half of why I won $500 last weekend on a parlay was because I legitimately said screw this. I am going to make sure that I bet some serious dough on this game. I only put down $30. I walked away with $500.
Hell to yeah. That's
And you know what?
serious
$30
dough in the betting world.
Listen, serious dough for a kid trying to save up for his truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, a Silverado ain't cheap, man. But the thing is, the best part about it is, listen, I'll call Chevy tomorrow and see if they'll sponsor me for a free truck. I don't care. I'm
There you go, right?
But it's like, this all started off of a random I was having a horrible day, man. I was having a rough ass day. It was a Friday. It was a Saturday. I was going through some shit, and I off of a blank just said, "Screw this! I'm going to put $5 in North Carolina to upset Duke on Coach K's last game." Walked about 30 beans. So then I walk in. I said, "Screw it! I put that $30 down on some parlays, want a little more money." Then turned that $34 and took 30 out of it, put it down in the parlay last Friday. Shout out to the Arkansas Razorbacks, the gentlemen of St. Peter's. I'm sorry we had to stomp on your throat. And my Tar Heels. God bless. When North Carolina beat UCLA, I was like, holy fuck, I've never won this much money in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, the betting world knows exactly how to play me. Like, once I come back to the world of betting, they'll let me win that first one, that first two, so I get into it. And then after that, it just ends up getting real bad. I can't win anything, no matter how hard I fucking try. But, that's why I say on DraftKings, I can do that all day. I'll play some fantasy sports and knock it all out, but just parlays or straight up bets, they don't work in my favor for whatever reason. And I'm the unlucky one too. Like, it's not bad bets. I remember 2016, the Kansas City Chiefs were balling out. Alex Smith was playing quite well. It's like week 10 or 11. This man hasn't thrown a pick all season long. My buddy comes to me on Saturday. He's like, yo, I want to get in on this parlay. Like, yo, we put down like $50 between us. We can win out with 600 split. I was like, fuck yeah. He's like, sports. Tell me what to do. Long story short, we won the first two games. I knew that was going to happen. No biggie. Alex Smith is playing a good game. I want to say they're playing Denver. And it's the last drive of the game. And this man is bucking down the field. 10 yards here, 13 yards here, 15 yards here. This man gets within the 10-yard line, rolls out to the right, throws a pass to the front of the end zone. From me to you. Throws a fucking pick. First pick of the season, and we lose out on the bet. That's the type of luck that I have when I bet. So, like, I mostly stay away from it. Unless you're giving me free money to put on parlays and bet, like when Hard Rock and the Florida Sportsbook was working and I was balling out and paying, I'm not doing it. It's just the way I lose money. It's just not fair. I have to have more control over the outcome. I'll play some poker, I'll play fantasy, but just hope for the best.
What happened to me was when I first started gambling, right? I downloaded the apps when I was at my boy's house. Shout out to two of my soon-to-be co-hosts. I will reveal their names later, but they're my boys from college. We were hanging out watching. We were watching some UFC fight. I don't even remember the guys' names, but it was back in like mid-November. Because gambling just became legal, and I started up both apps, try to get my money in. I had to call up DraftKings to get my verification done. Because I think there's somebody who has the same exact phone number as me. Or one digit
like an old one never got released?
Yeah, and then like their name gets always associated with my stuff every time I do a background check or verification. So they're like, do you know this number from Massachusetts? I'm like, no, I don't. So it's like... And then, so FanDuel had to be a pain in the ass about it. I didn't get them verified with me until December. Almost January. But DraftKings let me go within an hour. I used all their bonuses. One of them, they had all these free $25 bonuses I won. So they're like, yeah, here, I threw $25 down the Cowboys to beat the Raiders. That was my first big bet on Thanksgiving. Nailed it. My first actual bet was a parlay with the Eagles covering against the Chargers and then the Titans winning outright and Adrian Peterson scoring a touchdown. It hit. I won $20. I was like, fuck yeah.
That was like the best thing Adrian Peterson did all season.
I don't know. He did score the most awkward-looking touchdown for the Seahawks later in the year.
Yeah, well, by then they were a foregone conclusion. Geno Smith was at quarterback. Nobody really gave a fuck.
Hey, old Glassjaw Geno is a saint. Oh
that
my
man could
God.
take a hit, right?
Oh my God.
I'm surprised they've taken Drew Lock over Geno Smith. That should tell you everything you need to know about your football.
I have a
career,
hot
buddy.
take about Drew Lock, and this is one's going to be interesting. I think he actually is going to succeed in Seattle.
What is succeed?
Like, be much better than he was in Denver. Like, actually win some games. Because here's the thing. One, if they keep Lockett and Metcalf, which is, I don't know why they're doing it, but they are apparently. And Noah Fant, hey, that's a really good lineup for him to throw to. That's better than what he had in Denver.
No, the hell it's not.
Okay, I would rather have Lockett and Metcalf over Jerry Jeudy right now. I would.
The fact that they have Fant added to it makes it a more of an argument. But
Fant puts them over the edge because with Denver you get Jeudy. With Jeudy, you get Cortland Sutton. You also get Tim Patrick and KJ Hamler and those running backs. I'm not counting running backs here, though. I'm not counting running backs here.
I can knock all this shit down.
DK Metcalf is a top 10, top 15 wide receiver. So is Tyler Lockett, top 20-ish. He's on the back end of the 20. He has games. He's too streaky.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
First off, he's very streaky. Secondly, Tyler Lockett, very talented, but 90% of his success is because he had Russell Wilson thrown to him. Think about some of the touchdowns Tyler Lockett has.
I know.
Touching on the edge,
ridiculous. But here's the thing about Locke. Locke has so here's the thing. Russell Wilson has a good arm, like an A- B+ arm, but he's never had I can put the ball throw the ball through both sides of a barn and it'll still hit the target kind of arm, like a Josh Allen, Cam Newton before he chickened out.
He's got the moonshot, bro. He's got the hanger. This man lets the ball go and it floats like it's zero gravity. I don't know how he does it. Drew Lock, check this out, man. Drew Lock coming out of college was that big arm quarterback, the guy who could read the plays. The NFL got different for him. And now it's been 3-4 years where he hasn't been able to see that success. Also, what makes you think all of a sudden he's going to wake up in Seattle where the weather's way different?
Here's the thing. Here's the kicker, though, right? I want you to remember, I don't know how schematically
they lost that kicker too, by the way.
I know. I want to ask you, how schematically, how well do you know, like, breaking down offenses down to the routes and everything else?
Not like you. I know you got that NFL pass. I actually been meaning to reach out and, see if you got a guest log.
I didn't re-up it, though, this year. I didn't re-up it this year. I've been using some bootleg shit.
I'm trying. So for me, I do a lot of that when I'm getting prepared for the draft. Draft season is one of my favorite times. Like, that was my big thing with everything. I was like, I can't do free agency. I'm back for the draft, and I will break down tape like a madman for that. But I haven't found the other problem I have is I love the NBA. That is my passion. I'm a basketball head. And so the times when I should be breaking down NFL tape to be ready for the next season, we're talking the playoffs, we're talking the last part of the NBA season. It's when
you got to be able to compartmentalize. Right. Football's religion to me, basically.
I understand.
I do love the NBA. And for the first time, besides the one Jimmy Butler year, my team is going to make the playoffs this year, and I am ecstatic.
Minnesota, hey, they looking good.
Bro, listen, Cat and Towns are dogs, man.
Yo,
D-Lo,
that's nuts.
Yo, Cat was like, I'm just gonna come out and just mark everybody
all day. They, honestly, like the Timberwolves. I love this is my type of sport. Just go everywhere. The Timberwolves, what a great name, have been on the cusp for so long. They've had the players, they've had the talent, they've had the swag. They haven't had the maturity. Patrick Beverley's a huge upgrade because people used to shit on him because, Patrick Beverley doesn't do anything but run around and run his mouth. You know how big that is? Look what Draymond Green does for the Warriors. Scores 3 points, talk shit to your best player, and you lose the game.
Pat Bev can drop 20. He's actually not a bad shooter.
He's not bad at all. He's just a vet, and that's the cool thing about it. Anthony Edwards, I was absolutely wrong.
That's my
Anthony
dog,
Edwards.
Man. I love
did not think that would translate to the NBA, and I'm happy. I'm very happy I was wrong because watching that man play ball, watching that man skyrocket, fantastic. Great for the NBA.
Happy moment for me. One of my happiest, two of my happiest moments as a Timberwolves fan. in the recent years. One was watching Towns get drafted by us. I was ecstatic. I was in this office back when this was like my hangout area when I was in college, and I was watching the draft on my TV. But then I come back, and then it's Anthony. I'm in my room, and I'm watching. I think it was October, so I think I had Thursday Night Football on or something because it was that wonky draft or whatever. And the Timberwolves somehow got the first pick out of fucking nowhere, and I was like, okay. And they're like, and I heard, listen, I think LaMelo Ball is going to be a fine player over his career, but
fine. That man's
like as in like
the NBA, bro.
As in like he's going to be like a top 30 player in the league for his entire career. Okay, fine, top 20.
Okay, gotcha.
Top 20
for his entire career.
Entire career, like he's gonna finish probably being in the NBA. When the NBA does our NBA 100, he'll be in there.
Absolutely.
So the guy
LaMelo Ball has a very good chance to be the face of the NBA. Go on. Has a very good chance.
Okay.
Sir,
the problem is
he's 20.
I know.
He's 20.
So is Ant.
Yeah. I'm not saying Ant won't be good.
Okay.
But there's always a number 2, buddy.
Here's the problem. Is that the West has one top dog and a bunch of dudes fighting for second, and it just takes one bad shot to knock Phoenix out. Just ask them last year. All I'm saying is, I would rather be in Ant's position than LaMelo's.
Here's close argument. Because here's the thing, Ant's position is good, but he still has to fight D'Lo. He still has to fight Cat. LaMelo Ball at 20 years old is already the leader of his team.
Yeah. But
by the time he's 23, LaMelo will have say in who is coming to that squad.
But did LaMelo get a mentor type of defensive Tasmanian devil like Patrick Beverley and an organization who was just shit tired of winning?
His name is Michael Jordan, the owner of the franchise.
Okay, how did that work for the Bobcats there, Mr. Johnson?
Jordan didn't know shit about owning a team at that point in time. First off, he took the franchise.
I love MJ. MJ is one of my top 10. Is one of my top 10 favorite athletes to ever exist. Maybe you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do our top 10 favorite athletes to ever exist. That'll be our way to finish the show tonight.
Holy shit! All right,
I'm putting you on the spot. You got an hour to figure your shit out.
I got
because we gotta go. I gotta go till 8 o'clock. That's the rules. So,
hey man, we're here.
Oh yeah, I flashed the bat signal to a good friend of mine. No response yet to see if he'll join us because unfortunately both of our guests got tied up. One with work and one with a pet emergency. So praying for my man Bandit.
Yeah.
I will say this though. Like, listen, I love MJ, but the thing is with Anthony Edwards, what Pat Beverly said. Yes, Pat Bev's fucking nuts, but Pat Bev also said, he goes, listen, this dude has like. When I watch this dude ball, it's like watching like old Jordan highlights when he was a kid. I'm like, yo, watch that shit. Like, yo, listen, like watching Ant.
No,
watch Ant, but Ant's also sick. Ant's already 6'6".
Yeah,
he's like he joined the league at 6'4", and he was destroying dudes.
Yeah,
he hit this dude instantly. Him and Cat to me are tied as my favorite players. I love them both equally. Cat is from Jersey. My family's from Jersey. Cat's an Eagles fan. I'm an Eagles fan. Got much love for Cat.
You're so weird. But I'm the same fucking way, though. I'm the same way. I'm constantly honed in, but like I have too much appreciation for so many.
Every one of mine's got a story. We've had this conversation twice now.
Oh, yeah.
But it's for me, what it turns into is that when I watch the Timberwolves, it's never been like they're the basketball that everybody who grew up playing NBA Live and NBA Street, that's the ball they play. I have 7 guys on that team who can posterize you within 5 minutes. They also have 3 or 4 guys who can light you up from the perimeter, and then now they're learned how to play defense. And I'm not saying they're the best team. They're not. They got beaten by the Raptors, who besides Pascal Siakam and the ghost of Fred VanVleet,
overrated,
trash.
Overrated.
Also, come on, the East is turned into. It's even more top heavy than it was during the LeBron days, except now it's 4 teams that could win out of the East instead of 1.
Every part of it.
What?
Love every part of it. Love every part of the East.
Who's your team, by the way?
I'm a Hawks fan. I like I said, I've honed in
ATL,
as of late
baby.
instead of
Trae Young.
and them Hawks on the way.
Listen, the dirty
South,
Tootsie Roll
baby.
Pop, dirty Tootsie Roll Pop's a good player, man. Listen,
He
he's such a fun guy to watch, but he's also such a prick to Knicks fans. Oh my god.
I am sorry. He is rightfully. He fucking spit on that man.
I know.
I would.
Listen,
I would
listen,
drop
that
Stepney every time I
series-
could in Madison
That
Square Garden.
series made me so sad because growing up in the Northeast, the Knicks have been the butt of the joke my entire life.
Yeah.
Like I was just getting into basketball in the Allen Houston team with I think they had Spree too. They had a couple other dudes.
Chokey Spreewell.
Chokey Spreewell. Yeah, trust me, I know a lot about Latrell Sprewell. Like listen, like that team, that was the last team I remember the Knicks were good. I think Antonio McDyess was on that squad or whatever.
Yeah.
But then they just unraveled. The Isaiah Thomas, the Larry Brown teams. Oh,
There's
I'm
some
like,
eras.
yo,
You know, when
listen,
Amari
listen,
got
I don't want
there,
to talk
they were
about
nice.
listen, Carmelo should have I was a big Melo guy when he was in Denver.
1 year. He had to wait 1 year. 1 year, and he would have championships. D Wade, Melo, and LeBron. That was the story. And he couldn't wait 1 year because
Hey,
he
listen,
was money hungry.
I'm all also for the humanoid raptor winning a title too, man.
I'm happy they chose Chris Bosh. He wasn't a bad second, but you could always tell he was always there was always
Talk
that
about
little
the most
line
front
between him and Wade.
Talk about the most front-loaded draft class of all time.
Ever.
Ever.
The 2020 draft class is the closest one to it. With Wiseman and
okay.
Melo and all
So
those,
listen,
bro.
do not put.
That draft class
I love
was
James
heavy.
Wiseman's game, but listen, he is not on that level where like, listen,
No,
Edwards and Ball are going to be superstars for the next 15, 20 years.
Yep.
Wiseman could end up being another Marvin Bagley if he's not careful.
That's the problem. And it's, I mean, like, that's what happens when you get these tall, lanky dudes whose weight didn't distribute right. And then he's in the right place to fix that. So
Shout to Slender Man, shout Holmgren.
Yeah. I honestly
I call him
believe
Slender Man on a podcast.
He's going to be Joel Embiid, though. 3 years of injuries and whatever. And then once his body fills out, he puts that weight on, that muscle on, he is going to be ridiculous and hard to stop. His game, there's very few weaknesses. He runs the floor well. He rebounds. He plays defense. He can shoot. He can mid-range. He does everything.
My biggest thing with James Wiseman and why I didn't want, because I remember the draft. A former coworker of ours, I'm not gonna name his name because he basically big timed me the second he got a new contract with another Ross. He joined Belly Up during the pandemic because he was a COVID layoff. Was with us for 6 months. Second, like somebody gave him a call, he dipped us in the dust. I wished him congratulations. Asked him even a question. Dude just big time me. So this dude Joey can kiss my ass. If I ever see him in the CBS studios, it's on site.
On site.
On site. I'm gonna yell at his munchkin ass.
That's fucked up. Appreciate your people. Remember where you're from.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, what were you gonna do for those 6 minutes, those 6 months if you didn't pick him up?
Bro, listen, like I was like I talked to him. That was the first guy I talked to at Belly Up. And that dude literally was like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to get in here and talk sports and everything. I'm like, bro, listen, like this is the spot for it. Like, come through. Like, why not? Like it's just enjoy what you're doing, dog. It's like nobody's like, this is like that's why I love Belly Up, because it's like I get to be myself. And like I've done like 15 of these meetings so far with the Belly Up staff. Shout out to the people who have been working with my schedule and have not been a giant pain in my ass. It's the ones who have been giant pains in my asses. You know who you are. I listen, AJ, it's not you because I know you guys have a fucking crazy schedule now. Vinny just got hurt. Vinny's coming up north to work with me now. MLB Network.
Bro, this man went from not hearing anything for like 6 months to every single organization wanting this man. Like this man in the last 2 weeks has had like 5 people like, we'd like to hire you. And he wasn't even like really searching it out. So the thing with the MLB Network, he got his foot in the door because Vinny's a huge hockey guy. He played in college, I think it was D3 or D2, plays still to this day. Huge hockey guy. And MLB also owns the NHL Network. So he made sure he got his foot in the door at MLB doing the grunt work so he can slide over to NHL and live his dream. So I'm a little bit far behind him, but NBA is going to be calling pretty soon, so I'll be okay.
Bro, listen,
Yeah.
I've been out of college for 4.5 years. It happens. Listen, my problem is that I got lazy, I got complacent, and then COVID happened, and now I'm trying to play catch up. But I found these amazing people here at Belly Up, so life could be a lot worse.
Right.
Also,
right.
never sell insurance out of college. That is my life.
No, don't do that. Don't. That's a trap. It's a trap.
Yeah.
Absolute
trap. That was a trap that cost me like $4,000. But whatever. As a 22-year-old in debt.
Hey, it's America, man. All 22-year-olds are in debt.
That's the hustle, man. Unless you go straight into contracting, which is what half my friends did. Now they're fucking like in houses driving big trucks and loving life. Their body's gonna be falling apart by the age of 35, but fuck. Mine, listen, I've done so much manual labor in my life. I'm gonna fall apart by 50.
It could be worse.
But last thing on LaMelo, Anthony Edwards. I think LaMelo Ball is what we thought we were gonna get at Penny Hardaway. That's his ceiling. Where it's like he's got the athleticism, he's got the jumper, he can move, he's a great distributor, he's a great creator. I love Penny. Penny is an honorable mention in my top 10 of the favorite athletes of all time. I love Penny so much. I paid $160 for a slightly used pair of the Penny foam posits when I was in college because I love Penny that much. Yeah. And those are my favorite shoe he ever released.
Yeah.
And then when the soles yellowed too much, I dyed them black and they look gas. But I'm a huge sneakerhead. I have like 30-something pairs.
Man, I forget that I meant to do that and I never got around to falling in love. Like I love sneakers, but I'm just to be honest, my upbringing wasn't the best. So like
mine wasn't bro. Listen, like I grew up in like country in a blue collar family, bro. It was like it wasn't like I got sneakers, man. I had to hustle I would work for everything.
I was about to say, but our hustle was different though. Like the hustle now is pull up the app I Wish and there's sneakers all on it. Like I had to go find the right street in the wrong hood and talk to the right person. So
my thing was I either had to pay $30 extra from some dude who was willing to go or had a girl who was dating a girl who worked at Foot Locker. Listen, when the Aqua 8s came out, November 2015, my Connect hustled me out of 225 instead of the 175 they were going for retail, 180, whatever it is. I was a broke college kid. They were a GR. They sold. They were on the rack. They were on the shoe shelves in my size until March. After that, I made the decision I will never get a Connect. Then he also swindled me out of $80 when I tried to sell my my Air Jordan 11s. They were a little too small for me, and I needed gas money to get to my internship. So I tried to sell a pair of my my Gamma 11s, which I love those. Those are my second favorite Jordans of all time. By the way, the Gamma 11s, they're $500 a clip.
Yeah.
I have Concord 11s, but they're not as nice. No, the Gammas are my favorite.
Understandable. I get it.
Listen, Concords are like the GOAT shoe, but it's like, yeah, I love them, but it's like they're white and it's just like that white canvas gets so nasty. I got to be so careful with that shit. But anyway, yeah, so this motherfucker hustled me out, and then he told his roommate, basically, do not pay this man over $160. And I almost knocked this dude out in my dorm room. And so basically after that, I got a job at Champs and bought 5 pairs of Jordans that summer while I was working there. Or 4 pairs of Jordans and a pair of running shoes. So it's like, it's like, and then like I would hustle and like, work my ass off, do side jobs, and I'd use my tips from my other jobs to pay for sneakers. So yeah, that's how, and also my feet haven't grown since I was 16. So the rest of my body did. The rest of my body did. Like literally, I was a 16-year-old kid with size 11.5 feet at 5'5", and I skyrocketed to 5'11.5", and now I still got 6'11 feet.
Bruh, I'm so mad my mom never told me I wasn't gonna be tall. I would have done so many different things in life.
Bro,
I know like 5'10" was the best.
My 2 cousins are 6'1" and 6'2.5". I got the short stick. My other cousin, who's on my mom's side, he gonna be like 6'3", 6'4". I'm the short one, but it's okay. I'm the strongest. It's all good.
There you go. You gotta find your niche. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Once you find your niche, you're looking
I'm also
good.
the best damn looking. So that's the easy one.
Yeah, that was from birth for me, so I wasn't worried.
Damn straight. I've always been handsome. Even my fat ass was 290 pounds. Now I'm down to 240. Still, I'm like,
Yeah. Damn, I'm
Okay.
actually coming up to you. I'm about to be 240. I got to get my shit together.
Listen, man, I gotta laugh to drink. That's why I switched back to light beer. Light beer is just hop water. It doesn't really count. All right. I think we should talk about NFL because I mean I want Bruce Arians thing, the conspiracy theories that are coming out about this shit is hysterical.
Yeah.
Like he waited till Tom unretired to retire, or Tom waited till Bruce told him he was gonna retire. And I'm like, I know these two weren't their biggest fans of each other, but is it? I know the NFL got real slow, like the past past week, like but like still, like
what was
I know
left to do?
it's a bomb. I know this is the dead zone now. It's just combine shit.
Waiting for the draft. Yeah, at this point, you focus all your weight on the draft, and whoever's left out there, you give them the money after you figured out who your young cats are to come in and fill some of those holes.
Oh yeah, I gotta I'm doing a mock draft episode I think in a week or two. I might bring my boy Uke back on. By the way, that man is a goddamn whiz kid, the Belly Up's draft expert. This dude is crazy. Like 60-something, 80-something draft profiles of dudes I didn't even know of if I wasn't a college fan. Jeez. And I'm like, bro, this is impressive, man. I'm going to ask him to do a special one for me on my boy Charleston Rambo. See what he says.
I'm going to have to hit him up. Go ahead and send him my contact info. I need to go.
He's on Slack, dog.
Doubt it.
Yeah, dude, this boy out of Israel. So he's up until 2:30 in the morning with me. We're finishing here at 8 o'clock or 8:30. This dude's been up at 2:30 in the morning finishing up. I'm like, bro, you gotta. He's like, yo, listen, I want to get into this game. So the hustle's real. I'm like, bro, okay. Like, I appreciate the love, man.
Right?
Dude knows his shit though. He's gotta get a better microphone, obviously, but the motherfucker's smart as a whip. Me and him had the same sleeper running back. The kid out of Arizona State. I can't remember his name right now. White, I think his last name.
Oof, but yeah, so I'm gonna have to. I'm lost, bro. The last 2 months have been facing the books and whatever big stories were popping up was what I was talking about.
Listen, when I had my finals before graduation, my schedule was study, workout, study, go grab food, party my ass off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and study for my health. And because I was in I had already gotten hired while I was still in college at the financial place. It's like study your life and health and exam. So I was technically taking 7 classes my last semester, my senior year.
Yep.
That shit was bullshit. I was mad as fuck, but it's all good though. But yeah, no, like it's so funny with the Buccaneers because I don't know what to make of the NFC South anymore. Like the NFC East, I know, okay, Washington's probably going to win 8 games because Carson's going to make some ridiculous plays and it's going to be incredible. But then he's also going to have a game where he throws 5 interceptions. The Giants are literally in a tailspin of denial.
Tyrod Taylor. Poor guy.
Yo, listen, keep my man's name out your mouth. I love Tyrod. That's my guy.
Me too. I'm saying I feel bad for him. I mean,
Mr. Swiss cheese, Mr. Swiss cheese lungs.
Yeah, right.
My man got stabbed. My man got dextered. My man got dextered by the freaking trainer.
They knew what they was doing. They had to find a way.
Listen, man,
find a way to make Herbert the man.
I said this on the Oxcord podcast or another podcast off not Belly Up one a couple months back. I said, listen, Justin Herbert is what we thought Carson Wentz was going to be. It's what he is.
Yeah,
and
but,
yeah, like Justin Herbert.
Carson Wentz for a bit though.
Yeah, 2017, which was like one of the best football seasons of my life, man.
Yeah.
But my best thing is that also, and then you have Philly, who got a lot better, and they're probably going to be like once again a 10-11 win team, and probably be a wild card or depending on. And then it all comes down to Dallas. Dallas is going to be like, we don't know. They got worse, obviously. Okay, so listen, they lost Amari Cooper. Okay, yeah. Oh my God, Michael Gallup. They paid for they overpaid Cooper. We know that. Yeah. They still have a running back problem that they don't start Tony Pollard because Zeke is good for 3 things: blocking, eating, and goal line.
No.
Oh, I'm on the anti-Zeke train all day. Also, they didn't address the fact that basically Trayvon Diggs is the worst best corner. He's the Jameis Winston of cornerbacks. Listen, it's either going to be a pick six or he's going to get smoked by fucking, what is his name? The guy from the Patriots. Whatever his name.
The receiver?
Yeah, he was on the Niners for a while. Whatever his fucking name was. Kendrick Bourne.
Oh, yes.
Kendrick Bourne, who I think ran like a 4.58 at the combine, just smoked his ass on a post route. I was like, oh, good God.
He's in that, Trayvon Diggs is in that area where it's talent over intelligence. And I'm not saying he's not an intelligent player. They're saying he's still
he's got excellent
learn,
ball skills.
You know?
He couldn't cover a goddamn blanket if the ball wasn't thrown badly.
Well, if the ball was thrown his way, it's different. Like he's that live with the risk type of player, though.
Here's the example. No, Asante Samuel was a live with the risk type of player. You know my man Asante, because he played for you guys.
But he was way better at that age than Trayvon Diggs is now.
Yeah, exactly. Asante Samuel should be a Hall of Famer. The fact he isn't is actually kind of criminal.
He'll be in there in 30 years because the NFL will let anyone in the Hall of Fame if you wait long enough.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, listen, they didn't let Drew Pearson in right enough.
Yeah, I know.
I love it. The video of him reacting to Harold Carmichael, who was the first like big body receiver in the NFL, getting it, like the first successful one, getting it over him. He was like so mad and so petty.
Yeah.
And like, yo, Drew, hey Drew, fuck you.
How do you make an all-decade team before you get in the Hall of Fame? Like,
okay, because the thing is, like, Harold Carmichael's stats over time were better, and he was a better player. He was. Drew Pearson won a title. That's the only reason he was considered better.
Drew Pearson was one of the biggest names in the NFL at his time in his career.
Because he was on the fucking Cowboys.
And you still got to show up. The 60-second player on the roster who doesn't get to show up on game days.
Yeah, he was a good receiver on the Cowboys. He also had one of the top 25 greatest quarterbacks of all time, Roger Staubach, chucking him the ball. So
it's part of the game.
Listen,
he can do it himself.
I'll drop a Tyler Lockett reference right there. You said I got you. So all right.
Drew Lock, you're funny.
Also, when he tried to like troll Philadelphia in Philly. And then I'm like,
that's what it is. See?
David Akers coming back with, hey, Dallas. Yeah, by the way, AJ, you know the last time the Dallas Cowboys won a Super Bowl, my mom was 8 months pregnant with me. My ass 27 years old, man.
It's bad. I was running around the playground in elementary. It was bad.
Yeah, man. Listen, greatness had not reached this earth yet when the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls. By greatness, I mean,
it sounds like it had been here for about at least 6 years, but that's cool.
All right, I appreciate the hustle. I do. No. Now getting back to it with the Bucks, the NFC South makes no sense. No, so you basically are looking at it like this: the Falcons are rebuilding. We all know they're rebuilding. Marcus Mariota is a good placeholder. I like him as a quarterback. He can move. He can run. Got a decent accuracy. He's an okay arm. And you know what? When they inevitably dumb down Calvin Ridley's suspension to 8 games, he'll come back and play. Kyle Pitts is is one of a young freak tight end. Hopefully he can catch a touchdown in the States. It's not in the Pro Bowl. It'll be okay. The Falcons have a good defense. They'll draft a lot of offensive guys this year, next year. It'll be okay. It'll be okay, buddy. It'll be okay. Just give it a year.
We're chilling this year. We're going to show up. We'll play games because it's
Y'all
required.
Are still going to upset a team or two, and I love it. And it's going to be great because the NFC South loves to eat its own tail. Then you have the Saints, who, by the way, have the most delusional fans I've ever met. I have never met more. Okay, well, then again, I'm friends with Cruz.
Cowboys.
Dallas are just have mental deficiencies. It's something in the water at Cowboy Stadium. It makes your brain shut off. I don't know.
Yeah. They
But
don't
no,
know many other words than
New
Super Bowl like
Orleans-
they've been to one every
Okay,
year.
so I have my good friend Cruz Oxenreider. I love him to death, but he's maybe the most delusional Saints fan I've ever met in my life. He goes, "We're gonna win the division. Tom's scared of us." I'm like, "Yo, listen, I love you to death, Cruz. Listen, my Eagles stomped your ass, and we threw 10 passes. Yeah, Simeon
Right.
started. It didn't matter. We still whooping
Like-
your ass if Taysom Hill and the ghost of Teddy B started."
In what world is Tom Brady scared?
He's only scared of one team, and that's my team. That's because we hit him the most. He even said it on the Manning cast. He said in the
Listen.
Manning cast. I'm not gonna lie.
They hit. That's fine. But he's still coming out of there with dubs. The Saints, like,
not in the
I
Super
don't know
Bowl,
what
it
the
matters.
Saints, how do you look at that team? Your best signing was re-signing Jameis. You let Marcus Williams go, and sure, he's had his moments where they weren't pretty. It's still a pretty damn good safety. We don't know what's going to happen with Alvin Kamara. He's probably going to be suspended for a bit.
I'm saying they're saying
Do you
4
have
to
a
6.
receiver? Huh?
I mean, you got the slant god.
Yeah, hopefully. What happens when they
He's
decide
playing,
that
I
before the
guess he's
season they
playing.
want to? Yeah. What happens when they decide they're going to deal him because they just need to, move forward?
Oh, they have Marquez
start their new
Callaway.
culture.
They have
Oh,
Marquez.
yeah, he's still great.
He's okay. I actually don't mind Marquez Callaway. I think he's an interesting player.
No, it's not that he's bad. He's overhyped.
But they
was waiting
signed
on
the
Marcus
Red
Callaway already.
Rocket. They signed the Red Rocket for fucking a 1 year.
Yeah.
What was it, a 1 year, $4 million
1
deal?
year, $3 million, six to
Six-
incentives.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Taysom Hill finally was like, I guess I'm just a tight end. Okay.
Yeah, they don't want to pay that $35 million fucking salary if you played his
I
most
wouldn't
snapping
either.
quarterback.
For him to be backup? Yeah. I mean,
Bro, what, third string at this point? Come on.
he will be the emergency QB. Hey, he had his guy Sean Payton on his side, but once Payton's gone, I'm sorry, buddy. Like, you're just not it. Like, you can run the ball. Well, we can make you a running back. That's about
Bro,
it.
listen,
You know?
Taysom Hill is the only reason that the Eagles did not go back-to-back Super Bowls against the Patriots. They may have not won that one, but that fake punt and also Alshon Jeffrey having no hands. I owe him an apology because I shat on that man's name for a year and a
Alshon
half.
Jeffrey?
And then basically after I found out Carson Wentz was a real problem at locker room, I was like, oh.
Nope. Alshon Jeffrey deserves just as much blame. Even if you want to go away
Oh,
from the
no.
fact
He
that
didn't
Josh-
help, but I made it like Carson was this innocent saint, and I feel horrible now.
Carson, man.
Carson was
I get dubbed as a Carson Wentz lover on my show because I gave him the benefit of the doubt last season. I'm a fan sometimes of players going to a new team, getting a new start when they need it, and seeing that talent can come back out.
$280 worth of Carson Wentz jerseys on the other side of my executive desk that I will never see the light of day again.
Yeah. So he didn't do it, and now I'm good. I was like, all right, well, you proved me completely wrong, and now I get to be the butt of all your jokes, but it is what it is, you know.
It's okay. I'm still hanging on to the fact that Tua is not a great quarterback. He's gonna.
Tua's not in a great situation. It's getting better, but it hasn't been great. You know, like I still think they vastly mishandled his first season. Rushed him in there when they could have just rested that man and made sure he was healthy. His second season, the weapons that he had wasn't great. Then they had no run game. Now they're on the up and up. You got him an offensive line. You got him Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle is a beast. Preston Williams, if he can stay on and get you that high point catch the ball type of guy. Mike Gesicki and Tua gets good together, and that defense has found ways to make it work. However, Brian Flores ain't there anymore, so you're going to have to show me what happens with that defense. They're on the right direction, but still they have one of the best chances to be formidable with Buffalo.
I think they're going to be the top wild card spot in they're going to sneak in as a wild card team. The problem is that the AFC West is so goddamn loaded.
Yeah, the West is this year's NFC West.
It's just going to be, and once again, Russell Wilson's going to be the one quarterback not making the playoffs. I'm dead ass. I think the Raiders are secretly going to win like 11 games, and everyone's going to be like blown away. But the reason, it's one
good pieces.
Well, here's the thing: they do the three things you need to win. They block up front, they run the ball, and they have a good number one weapon, a good number two weapon. A good slot receiver. Oh, and a quarterback who doesn't like to turn the ball over. That's going to win you 11 games.
Yeah, all they need to do is shore up that secondary. And I'm not saying it's porous, but it ain't great. You know, that pass rush can only do so much. You get some corners that can hold down and defend and who don't want to go to jail. You're looking pretty good going forward.
Stop flashing them AK-74s in the freaking live stream.
To show
I
how
will
tough
say
you
this.
are.
Jesus. I will say this about Las Vegas is that like them and Detroit are my two teams that are like, I'm like, y'all gonna be surprised what they do this year. Like, I'm loud about Philly. I always be loud about Philly. They're not a surprise team when I mention them. Detroit with Hard Knocks this year, though, this brings me to my next point, is the greatest thing I heard this week, man. Besides Ketel Marte re-signing with my Diamondbacks, like, this is the best news I heard all week. I love Dan Campbell. I am a Dan Campbell stan. If this man, the only thing that will make this man's career better is if somehow he leaves and becomes like becomes an assistant coach in Philadelphia under Sirianni, because the two of them in a meeting would be hysterical. But here's the thing: I love Sirianni. I love all of his analogies. I love how wonky and kooky he is because he's just a player's coach, and I love it. But I also love that him and Jalen Hurts' celebration is them playing air guitar.
Yeah.
It was against your Falcons when we saw it, so
Listen, I'm okay with that. It was week 1. Like, I mean, who knew what we were going to get in?
Right. I know.
Worry about that. That let us know a lot about what we were getting into for this season. And I was like,
at least you were prepped for it.
It was my professional version of Florida State. No fucking offensive line.
I love the line. Like, listen, like, I get more of those doonch and like all the biting kneecap moments. I want to see if Dan Campbell is truly as nuts as we think he is. And I want to just see. Also, by the way, hidden gem, my dog Deuce Staley on Hard Knocks is going to be electric. Okay. Yeah. This man on any of the Eagles live shows is the funniest dude, and he's loud, he's great. I love Deuce Staley. And then I get to hear more of Jared Goff, who honestly is the most. He should be in the show Karate Kid. That's how his demeanor is. But I also TJ Hawkinson is like the ultimate like bro.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Like, that team looks like so much fun.
Is Jared Goff, are they gonna draft a QB?
Okay. So here's the thing. I have heard so many things that basically whoever's available between the three of Corral, Ritter, and Malik Willis, whoever's available at 32, they're taking them there. They're going Hutchinson first. We all know what they're doing. They may go off book and take an offensive lineman, but it's gonna be Hutchinson or a O-line. That's the word I've heard. The only reason Hutchinson's dipping in the draft, and AJ, I implore you to look up this video after we get off. It's his bench press during his pro day. Like, you've hit the gym, right bench press. Like, everyone slams off their chest. It's fine. This dude is up in it, and right as about to get to the point of benching where you either push or you drop. The guy's like giving a little udge, and you can clearly see it. And to me, I'm like, is he that strong? Now I'm wondering about it.
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
work ethic though.
His teammate at Jobo had a better tape.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm watching, I was an edge rusher in high school. I take pride in it. Was the one position I know how to analyze the best. That's why I said Greg Rousseau and Jalen Phillips are going to have sneaky good years. This wasn't Miami bias. I said, listen, bro, they both have a ridiculous motor. They're both freak athletes, and they both know how to get after the quarterback. They're both going to have great seasons.
Yeah.
So,
pretty good.
With Jobo, I really hope Philly takes him in the second round, because I think this kid, when he comes back next year, is going to be a freak. And unlike Jalen Smith, who got hurt late, this motherfucker ain't going to have to cover anybody. He's going to have to sit next to either Hassan Reddick or Fletcher Cox on either side of the ball, and he's going to dominate. Or at least put a ridiculous. Because I want this kid to get in a good situation. I really do. I feel horrible that he basically blew his Achilles out.
Yeah, the pro day, that was tough.
That was tough.
But let me be honest. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson really became the talk. He's a good player. He had a great season. He's work ethic, storyline with his dad and legacy and all that shit. Like, great story. But let's be honest, he got the hype that he did and the attention he did because at the Heisman finalists, Harbaugh was like, he's going to be the number one pick. What is every media pundit going to do at that point?
He's the number one pick.
And talking about it and show, Not to say
we
can't
all
be,
knew Vinny's
but
Jags
now
weren't
he's
going
in
to take him
conversation.
one. Because
No.
Doug Peterson is a smart coach.
Yeah.
That is one thing I will say to Vinny. Congrats, Vinny, on getting a very smart coach. I love St. Doug.
Yeah,
St.
and,
Doug,
the number one pick for 2 years in a row. Good job, guys.
Yeah, listen, media. Hey, listen. If you're not first, you're last. You might as well want to be the first last. Ricky Bobby with a little inverted humor.
Intelligence.
All I will say about Hutchinson is very straight line. Like when he rushes, there's not a lot of wiggle to him. It's very like up.
Yeah.
It's out. Kayvon Thibodeau reminds me of Jadeveon Clowney, where he's a freak athlete, gets after the ball, but I question the motor. If he goes to the right system, he'll be fine. If he goes to Houston or Seattle or wherever, he's fucked. I love Trayvon Walker. I think Trayvon Walker is Myles Garrett 2.0. Yeah. I think this man is a freak athlete. He's a little raw, but everything I've seen is just like, God damn, man. Yeah. Like you get him in a 4-rush system. You get him even a team as bad defensive scheme wise as the Commanders, or a team like, Philadelphia or even New England, or one of these teams who knows how to scheme blitzes and scheme defensive ends on a one-man rush. Oh, good God, man. He's going to have 12 sacks as a rookie. So, I mean, like, listen, it's like, I don't, like, I just look at like, holy fuck, these guys are good. But speaking of good, Bobby Wagner is a Ram.
Bro.
At least he's not a Cowboy. At least he's not a Cowboy. That's all I got to say.
I think he thought the same thing. He thought the same thing.
He's a man of integrity.
We were literally just talking last night about how we don't know if the Rams did enough. Allen Robinson, it's whatever. But at the same time, you're looking at a team coming off a Super Bowl. Not that they should stay stagnant, but clearly they feel pretty good about where they are. Just need to make a couple of moves. You lose Von Miller, and just as everybody is staying patient, they go and snag the last guy who would have been the first guy picked up after the draft if it got that far.
Oh, yeah.
And talk about 3 levels of defense with a Hall of Fame player. Like, what are you going to do? You got to get rid of the ball quick because there's a guy named Aaron Donald there that
here's the thing. It's like you just throw the other side of the field.
No, you don't. Because you're not going to go middle because Bobby Wagner is controlling all that, and now Leonard Floyd is where he needs to be because Bobby Wagner ain't letting that slide. And let's be honest, Jalen Ramsey, you don't even know where he's going to be because now he gets to have fun playing football wherever he wants. He floats around the field and just plays backyard football within a scheme because Sean McVay realized he had a dog and let him loose. You don't think I was second guessing some of the secondary pieces that they let go before last season, and somehow they still ended up winning a damn Super Bowl. They're only going to get better in the back end, whether it be through the draft or the secondary pickups from free agency to go along with Jalen Ramsey. There's so many questions that makes an offense really have to game plan on how you're going to get yourself down the field against this defense, barring injury, of course. It was a good move. That was one of the best moves out of nowhere that I've seen in this free agency period. And again, I haven't got to watch a lot of free agency because I've been headed to the book. I know what's been happening, but yeah. I really like that move. 5-year, $50 million, all up front, really. So you're not really going to have to worry about it. He's never going to
cut him in 3 years when he wants to go.
Absolutely.
It's all good. Also, I'm 8 into my top 10 list, so I hope you're ready for 15 minutes from now. We will do our list.
Move some things around, but
alrighty.
My shit's pretty Gucci.
Yeah, I got Maybe. 2 more left. A lot of Hurricane.
Did you spread it out? Did you spread it out from sports, and you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that?
Well, it's just like I got it goes football, basketball, baseball, football, basketball.
Okay.
Because there's one, I guess number 10 is baseball, so yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't really get any. Actually, I did. Never mind. I did. We'll get there. It's hard, man. Like some of the people that you think about, and then you end up just being like, I can't put them on there.
Mm-hmm.
Tough.
You know, I feel you. I feel you there. I mean,
so
it's hard, man. Oh yeah, talk.
So, we had left off with this NFC South stuff and Bruce Arians and conspiracy theories and whatnot.
Yeah.
Do you buy into the fact that Tom Brady basically forced BA's hand? Like Tom Brady came back to the Bucs with the thought process that Bruce Arians would not be the head coach?
I buy it. I think they never got over their issues, but I think they got over enough. But I think Tom was done. Bruce says, "Hey, I'm retiring." Tom's like, "All right, I'm good. I'll come back." I think that's really what it comes down to. I really don't think it really. I guess I flipped my statement then. I think it really comes down to. I think it definitely helped Tom come back faster, and he definitely knew, or else he would. But the thing is, or else we would have heard Tom unretire today. But I think the biggest thing with Tom is also, he's a competitor, but also I think him and BA just didn't click. They made it work for one Super Bowl, and also they cut all the lucky breaks in the world. We all know they did. So it really just turns into like, okay, what's next? It's Todd Bowles' show.
I like that a lot.
I did too. Good for Todd. I really thought Byron was going to get a coach at his alma mater, aka Jacksonville, but I feel like maybe it's not the worst thing in the world not to go to Jacksonville.
It's also not the right time. It's kind of the same thought process of Todd Bowles when he was with the Jets. You knew he had it in him, but it was too early. He wasn't ready, and also that team that he had wasn't going to do him any favors.
God, yeah, no.
Now he's got a squad, a culture that's bought in, team that respects and loves him. And I love the idea of Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles doing it together, Rooney style, if you will, for years to come. And I don't know. I'm not saying that means next season they're going to be just as formidable or the season after. They're going to put in a lot of work. It's not just going to happen, but you get to start off with Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, more than likely Rob Gronkowski in a defense that is still top of the line. Not to mention, I really love the idea, even though he's old, that they got Logan Ryan back on that onto that defense to come back with Tom Brady and play. Those guys, leader on the defense, leader on the offense, in New England was always something to look at and think about. So,
even though Logan Ryan, I still want to kick his ass for trying to talk shit about Philly, but then again, he got smoked by us anyway.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you do it. It's the NFL. You can't get punked.
We got to talk Final Four though. It is the biggest thing this weekend. Kansas and Villanova. Listen, so I watched Kansas, right? And watching them stop my Hurricanes was like, oh my God, that was bad. Also, I knew Miami's Cinderella run was going to come to an end. I watched. Yeah. I'm like, listen, they are just beating teams up who don't have athletic point guards. I knew it was going to end. Kansas has all athletes, but Villanova has Jay Wright. They have a top 25 team, and I you know what? Villanova's got that magic, and I've never trusted Bill Self this late in the year.
Villanova is going to give Kansas some fits. That kid Colin Gillespie's been decent, Big East Player of the Year and whatnot. But what's his name? Jermaine Samuels. Mm-hmm. That's the guy. Went up to 17.4 points when he was scoring 10.2 in the regular season. He's been a boss in the tournament. And there's always those March diaper dandies, as Vital would say, that show up when it matters. Dandy, baby. Part of it. Yeah. That's a part of what's going on. Like what Jay Wright and Villanova are able to do year in and year out. We're talking about these 4 teams in the Final Four. I don't know if people acknowledge how massive this is. These guys have 7 of the last 11 or 13 championships.
Okay, so I saw one dude complaining about it today. He's like, well, it's March Madness, but it's just 4 blue blood friends. So, like, what's the problem with that? Like, what? North Carolina was an 8 seed. They had to beat the defending champs a perennial powerhouse in Marquette or perennial contender in Marquette. Then they had to go and stomp on Cinderella's neck and then beat last year's Final Four team, UCLA. It's not like they had an easy road. Then you have Coach K's retirement tour. God, fuck, I hope they lose. And then you have Kansas and Bill Self, who have one of the best, like, most talented teams in the country. And then Villanova.
Villanova, who are always in this, always in the conversation.
Always in that shit. And you know what the best part is? Everyone in Villanova is a dog in that last game in the Elite Eight. I was like, why?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
They're an easy team to believe. It was just, they had a good squad last year. It'll come to an end. Same thought process people keep having with Gonzaga, where they continue to find a way to be formidable year in and year out. And that's what happens with Villanova. It's one of those teams that they're just outside the scope that nobody wants to believe that it's real. But they've been in the Final Four, 3 times in the last 5 years? 2 national championships, if I'm not mistaken. At least, it definitely won.
Yep,
100% won.
Yeah, 2016, I still want blood for.
Yeah, well, I mean,
listen, I was saying this to my boss. I was in the truck with my boss today. We were in Manhattan. I said, 2016, that shot by Chris Jenkins is still one of the darkest sports moments of my life.
Though.
That
so
shit.
Though.
I had just gotten over the loss of like one of the most important family members of my life, and North Carolina was my vice to get through that loss. So when Chris Jenkins hit that shot, every emotion came flowing back, and I just realized, oh my God, one of my closest family members just died, and I'm like, it's all happening now.
Oh, man.
It was rough. So, Villanova's always been in my doghouse, but I want them to win just so North Carolina can kick their ass. But then that involves our next game. So who are you taking, by the way, if we're going to take picks right now?
Oh, we're just jumping right to it, huh?
We're going right to it for the first one. We're taking this Villanova or Kansas. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Villanova.
Listen, I will say this once, and I'll say it again. Wildcats, please win so we can kick your ass next week on Monday.
I'm just Kansas just annoys me.
Kansas just lame,
I'm
bro.
Sorry. Like it just don't feel right. Like I don't feel like I want to watch a championship game with Kansas, and I don't care how good they are.
Listen, the only time I ever rooted for Kansas when they had the Mad Hatter as their football coach.
Yeah. Who was
love me some Les Miles.
What was that dude? Who was on their team a couple years ago?
Oh, the quarterback, right?
No. On in basketball, they had.
Let's see. They've had Embiid. They had Wiggins. They had
Graham. Devontae Graham might be what I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then the story I had in my head was completely wrong, and we can move on.
Okay. All right. Now the Battle of Tobacco Road, Final Four edition. The NCAA couldn't have asked for a better matchup.
Could not. This is so nuts.
That's
crazy. What I meant when I said St. Peter's. It's nothing you did wrong. You just came
North
up
Carolina
at the wrong
was
time.
a necessary evil. Like, listen, I said to my buddy, my friends were getting mad at me, like, "Why you're Tar Heels, man? What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Listen, you really thought St. Peter's was gonna knock off Duke? Come on, there's only one team. It's like who are you gonna call to beat Duke? It's the one team they've struggled with their entire listen, they may have. It's their rival. The guys who literally walked in the Cameron and then kicked the doors in and then left and watched Coach K tell the fans to calm down because they lost. And nothing would be a greater storyline. And we all know the refs are going to try to rig this game. We all know
going in the wrong direction.
No,
that is not the greatest storyline. Nothing will be a better
storyline for the rest of college basketball. Not the fuckers who in royal blue and black, and not those schmucks at the NCAA office. For the rest of college basketball, nothing will be better than watching Hubert Davis in his first year as a coach punch Duke in the mouth with my boy Baycott and RJ Smith and Caleb Love, who, by the way, Caleb Love is a goddamn freak. That man just lit up UCLA for like 30 points. It was crazy. But listen, and also the Viking himself, Grady Maddock. I love that man to death. But here's the thing. North Carolina beating Duke would be the ultimate March Madness things. It's a Cinderella story. Duke goes to the national title. Coach K's last year. It's like, oh, nope, UNC just stop that bitch. It's over.
You said all the right things in all the right places. at all the right times
Oh,
for the absolute wrong team.
oh, God.
The greatest.
Nobody wants Duke to win.
What, sir? The way people respond and react and speak has a lot to do with the people around him. And you, sir, as a UNC Tar Heels fan, probably is surrounding yourself with UNC
I am
Tar Heels
not.
fans.
I am the lone Tar Heels fan in my friend group. I'm surrounded by UConn, Gonzaga, Baylor. A Baylor fan asked if we can kick their ass. I have a friend who's a Jayhawk fan. I also have a lot of UConn fans because I'm in Connecticut. There are no UNC fans around me.
Sir,
My only friend who's a UNC fan moved to Florida.
the greatest storyline would be Coach K
Boo.
in his final year.
Okay, so
After
Duke
losing
most,
to
Duke
UNC
is,
at Cameron
Duke
Indoor.
is the most hated program in college basketball.
Every sport has its villain.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
nobody
mean the
wants the
villain can't
villain
win.
to go out with a win.
Listen, Duke isn't ending. Coach K's leaving. This is that
Coach K's
mid-season
part
plot.
of the villain.
This is
Coach
this
K's a
mid-season
prick.
plot where the villain wins, and you're like, "Oh man, how do we overcome it?" Well, Hubert Davis can have it for the next 10 years.
This would be like blowing up Listen, this would be like the Rebels blowing up the damn Death Star twice. It's
Oh my god.
the North Carolina Tar Heels are the goddamn Galactic Rebellion, and they are here with the support of the galaxy to knock off Darth Sidious. Oh, okay, Coach K.
Gross.
I'm
would cry.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
Cry.
I mean, I thought you were an ACC fan. I
love ACC.
Yeah, here's the problem.
My thing.
We're both ACC boys. Here's the thing. Unfortunately, the only team we've had Coach K's retirement tour shoved down our throats for the past 7-8 months.
Yeah, as it
I would
should
know
be.
nothing more to watch that fucker's term end with a loss to UNC.
God damn it.
The only thing that would have been better is if they had a first-round exit.
No, stop it.
That
That's
would've
not
been
true. That's not true because you would not enjoy it as much as. The only thing that would be better than this is if they met in the championship.
AJ, after this, we're going to exchange numbers so we can exchange Snapchats, and you're going to get my live reaction regardless.
Okay, about it.
If Duke wins, it's going to be a lot of cursing, swearing, plotting ways to get back at the refs and Mark Emmert. If they win, it's just going to be tears of joy and laughter.
I'm waiting for your boy Brady Manick to cry tears of blood. He was close in his last game. You ever seen his eyes when he's just screaming? It just look like he's about to bleed from his
here's the thing.
eyes.
Here's the thing. It's like with Brady Manick, dude, basically his basketball career was over.
Yeah.
At Oklahoma. And now he's getting talked about being a second-round pick because or late first.
He'd be a good overseas player. He'd be a good overseas player.
He'd be a good like 3-and-D guy in the NBA. A good 3-and-D
He would be one of those guys that would come in and out of the NBA, in and out of the G League, in and out of overseas.
So the thing is,
I watched
that man hit a 40-footer with 3 guys in his face and just like look like nothing fazed him. I'm like,
yeah.
Listen,
he got some play. He got some spike.
The problem is the UNC plays so much ISO ball, it worries me. But they have 5 guys who can.
On the plus side, Duke and their defense is not at where it needs to be. They both got some great big guys who can play down low and protect the paint a little bit. But ISO and making space, that's where you're gonna find your issues, and that's why this game will probably still go down to close to the wire. Your boy Aliki Black is on point. Your boy RJ Davis and what Armando Bacot does is fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Bacot is my dog, man. I love Bacot. That's my dude.
He's a beast. He got to deal with a beast of his own.
Here's the thing: is like with Duke and North Carolina, it really comes down to this. The pressure is all on Duke.
Absolutely.
North Carolina is like, listen, we got to a Final Four as an 8 seed in our coach's first year with a bunch of unproven guys.
Yes,
and now we get a shot. And now we get a shot. Okay, 3 sophomores, a senior, a grad student, and a junior. I think it's our starting lineup.
Yeah.
We ain't Miami with 4 grad transfers. It's like
you got the young guys who don't understand the moment.
Here's the thing: is like they get the moment because they know this fucking rivalry. That's why they signed up for it. You listen. I was a 10-year-old child and knew I had to hate Duke. I remember one of my best moments of middle school was my buddy's house. His whole family, all Duke fans, right? Sitting there in my Michael Jordan UNC jersey. I missed that
Crazy
jersey.
part is all my favorite players went to UNC, but I take Duke over UNC.
Like, listen,
Jordan, Vince,
hold on, let's see how many. 1, 2.
Jameson.
Okay, so two of my favorite players in my top 10 went to UNC. So one of my all-time favorite Tar Heel, one is one of my all-time favorite NBA players. So I will say this before we go into that is that North Carolina's guys, like Hubert Davis, like guys, we made the Final Four as an 8 seed with like all this, like. We go out and beat them. We've just made history. We're not only infamous in college basketball history, we are also the heroes of the tournament. To every other fan, to 67 other fan bases. 67 other fan bases.
Haters,
no, sorry, 66. Bro. 66.
So sad. So sad.
So sad. No, I'm not a hater, bro.
You literally used the word hate like 4 times.
I despise Duke. I've always, but this is not just about Duke.
Despiser, bro.
Oh my god, you're a fucking bandwagon, and like
a bandwagon. I'm an.
You're hopping on this narrative like it's something great. It's not.
No, listen. Bandwagon, you a bandwagon. I told you.
Okay, listen to any of the guys. Listen to like any of the guys on any of these college guys. Rothstein from Barstool and Bleacher Report. You could even have what's his face, Mark Titus. Both of them said the same thing. Nobody in the media wants Duke to win because they're sick of this shit. Nobody wants.
Shit, when's the last time they won? What are we sick of?
That's a good thing. Nobody wants to win again.
What? I don't know. I find it hard to believe. As well respected as Coach
I understand your ass has been like Patrick Starring the past 2 months, living under a rock. But
anyways,
yeah, okay.
Listen,
all right.
son.
All right, I got North Carolina. Give me the upset. Give me UNC.
Oh
Give me my dogs. These boys have fought like devils to get. Oh, see what I said there? They have fought like demons to get themselves into the Final Four. They have had the hardest road to the Final Four of any of these teams. And here's the thing:
this means they
find a way to win. That's what champions do. They find a way to win. They don't rely on the refs to win it for them. Texas Tech game. All right. AJ.
No. Hold on. Give me give me the Duke Blue Devils to take your little Tar Heels down, to slap them around the court on the Final Four. Give Coach K his ride off into the sunset moment. Your biggest mistake was winning in Cameron Indoor Stadium. That is something that cannot be borne. And you guys have played well. It was a great tournament. Congrats on the Final Four. Hubert Davis has a bright future with your UNC Tar Heels. It's time to go home, buddy. It's all right. Saturday is your last night playing basketball this season. You will sit at home on Monday and watch the NCAA championship tournament with Duke versus Villanova.
I think our tournament ends next Thursday with a nice victory parade down Chapel Hill. All right. All right. So now, AJ, we got about 6, 8, 7 minutes left. Now
you can do this.
We're gonna start doing this now, corner booth, for the last 10 minutes, because the last 10 minutes have always been so mundane and dry. But now we're gonna do this the right way. Me and AJ have compiled our top 10 favorite athletes of all time, any sport. So you have a one sentence explanation for each. I'll go first to show you how it's done. Number 10, Alex Rodriguez. I loved A-Rod as a kid because I was a power hitting third baseman who loved Nike Shox, who loved watching his swing. I even mimicked my backswing off of him for baseball. I loved watching him play for the Yankees because I was a Diamondbacks fan. I needed a local team to watch. I always watched New York because I loved A-Rod in Texas. So you know what? A-Rod, it gets my number 10 spot. He also owns my Timberwolves, so boom. All right, number 9. Get your squirrel dancing and your use up. It's my man, Ray Lewis. I love Ray. I love his tenacity. I love his passion. I love his speeches. Love his workout app back when I was in high school. This dude is just... I even have a Ray Lewis Miami throwback jersey upstairs. I love that shit. But Ray Lewis is one of my favorite players. My favorite... when it comes to non-Eagles, who I didn't even want to play for my Eagles, I love their greatness regardless of if they played for them or not, was Ray Lewis was number 2 on the list. Number 8 is the GOAT himself, Michael Jordan. I love this man. I love his tenacity. He wasn't in the top 10 until I watched The Last Dance. The Last Dance made me love him even more. I love his pettiness. I love his because a true champion don't give a fuck about what you think. They're out here to do one thing was fucking win. Also, I have like 16 of his sneakers. Like this man is part of like why sneakers are like his sneaker innovation. Him and Tinker Hatfield is why I love sneakers. Also that and the T-Mac 3s. But that's all. By the way, honorable mention number 10 is Tracy McGrady. By the way. Love me some T-Mac. That's my dog. All right, when I was a kid. But he's only replaced... Actually, no. We're going to do a tie. Because he's tied at number 7 with my all-time favorite North Carolina Tar Heel, Vince Carter. Love me some Vince. Listen, Vince Sandy, when he hung up the sneakers, I was sad. But listen, I got so many great memories of watching him just yam on everybody. Still my favorite moment, though, is his failed dunk attempt from the free throw line with the Grizzlies.
That's
Still my favorite moment.
That's a good one.
But in tie with him is Tracy McGrady, who honestly, I thought Andrew Wiggins was going to be the next T-Mac. Lanky, good, decent shooter, can play a little defense. T-Mac, when I was a kid, my first pair of sneakers were the Adidas T-Mac 3s, the home edition. Adidas retroed them 6 months ago. Aaron, I got the announcement. Guess how long it took me to buy them?
10 minutes.
6 days. Payday. I was at a bar. Apple Pay, 30 seconds. I had them. They got to my house in 2 days. Gotta love Finish Line, man. All right. Number 6. Only other tie in the top 10. 2 of my favorite Eagles from my childhood. These boys were the most electric duo of running back and receiver I'd ever seen. One broke the Giants' hearts and one broke defenders' ankles. And number 6, it is Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy. I love these two so much. If I saw them today on the street, I would go up and hug them and thank you for making my childhood what it was. These two are 2 of my favorite people. Shady, his cockiness and his ability to hold the ball away from his body and break through his ankles, and Deshaun Jackson for just being what excitement in football should be. Number 5, the director of swagger. Yeah, the director of swagger at the University of Miami, Uncle Ed. Love me some Ed Reed.
Nice. Ooh,
I got my Uncle Ed. I got my Uncle Ed t-shirt upstairs from Dime Life. Shout out to DJ Williams for making the best clothing brand of all time. But Uncle Ed, listen, his Miami highlights in his Miami speech were crazy. But also in the NFL, he's just was so electric to watch as a safety. I love watching him play. But his Miami days is why he's up here. Number 4, RIP to my favorite non-Timberwolf to ever walk this earth, and to a man who helped teach me through his motivational speeches how to be better at what I do as a person. Kobe B. Bryant, a fellow Eagles fan, part of the nation. We love, listen, Kobe in the Eagles jersey was my background for almost a year. I love that man to death, and it's sad that I didn't appreciate him truly until only a few months before his death. Number 3, the greatest left-handed pitcher in the history of baseball. This man has killed birds, hitting streaks, and the Yankees 2001 World Series hopes. My dog, the man, the myth, the 6'10 legend, Randy Johnson. Big unit. My favorite baseball player of all time.
Like Randy.
Oh, yeah. Number 2, the greatest shit talker in the history of sports. This man once told a dude his girl tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios. He also told Crowley Villanueva he was a cancer to his team, then walked it back 5 minutes later. This man headbutted basketball rims for fun, gave me one of the greatest seasons of my life, 03-04, and is the reason I am a Timberwolves fan to this day, KG, Kevin Garnett. And then number 1, this man has ended a guy's career. This man this man told Takeo Spikes once he was going to take a man's soul. This man had an alter ego of an X-Man and is synonymous with the Philadelphia Eagles, black visors, and running out on all fours out of the tunnel. Weapon X, the man, the myth, the legend, the devoted Christian, the great man, and my personal hero on and off the field for what he does as a human being, Brian Dawkins.
Brian Dawkins.
I watched that man. My first introduction to Dawkins, by the way, folks, was him breaking Algie Crumpler's ribs.
Yeah.
That was my first intro. I knew who he was, but like I grew up loving McNabb and like, you know, T.O. and Westbrook and Deuce Staley. Like that's L.J. Smith. By the way, I saw L.J. Smith's jersey, by the way, which is hysterical to me. And, you know, Javon Curse, because I love guys who sack the quarterback. But, yo, listen, like, Brian Dawkins, man, that hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Brian Dawkins, man.
I'll send you a clip after
He was
this.
my Ed Reed. He was my Ed Reed.
Yeah.
Like, I know how good Ed Reed is, and Ed Reed is his own Ed Reed. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But Brian Dawkins, man, that's another dude. The fact that he's so far up on my list kind of hurts, but you know, it just kind of is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So honorable mention here, and I know we're almost done, so I'll go a little quicker. But honorable mention.
Sorry about that.
You're good. It's your show, buddy. You gotta be good. You know. Honorable mention for me, John Jones. I got.
That's my dog. My favorite
John
UFC
Jones.
Fighter, man. The champ
Anderson
is
Silva
here.
brought me into the UFC, but I have not missed a John Jones fight. I can't.
I have not either.
I love
my John
watching
Jones
this man
fight shirt ripped the other day. By the way, AJ, I almost cried.
Well, stop doing all the drugs that John Jones does.
Whoa! No, I tried to take it off the coat rack and the nail on it ripped the front of the shirt.
I don't think I would have told that story.
No, I'm being honest, man. Listen, I'm trying to keep a clean persona here. I smoke cigars and drink beer. That's what I do.
That's fair. I'm with you. There.
Champ is here, man. I love that number. He was another honorable mention, by the way.
Number 10. Jackie Robinson. You know, pioneer of what sports means to me. As we all know, first black man to step into the pros of baseball. The only baseball player on my list to make this list. Shout out to the movie 42. If you haven't seen it, fantastic.
The GOAT,
film.
Chadwick Boseman.
Rest in peace. Sir. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
My guy. Number 9, Tracy McGrady. Loved watching this man play ball. The fact that he's not in the Hall of Fame is a damn travesty. NBA.
That shit pisses me off.
A damn sap. The fact that he's not in the top 75, a damn travesty, needs to be fixed ASAP. He is in the Hall of Fame. Now I'm about to say something sounds off. It was the top 75 that got me messed up.
Top 75. I think I heard he was like in the 80s though, but it was like still like really. Come on, those guys.
Damn ridiculous. They should. Yeah. NBA should be ashamed of themselves.
Damn.
So number 8, prime time. Deion Sanders.
High stepping into the top
in Atlanta. Yes, sir. What he mostly meant to the FSU knows and everything like that. What he did, I mean, he brought swag to the NFL, in my opinion. The NFL forever changed after Deion.
Listen, you look good, you play good, you feel good, you get paid good.
Yes, sir.
I know I butchered that, but still, I got all the
you got
words.
It in there. Number 7, Dwayne Wade.
Flash, baby.
Could be higher on my list. When I was playing ball, I modeled my game after him. I was that type of guard. I was quick. I was fast. I got to the rim. I handled. I pat. Dwayne Wade, I played defense. That was my guy.
Love D Wade
all the way through.
Much love for D Wade.
Number 6. This is where Brian Dawkins fell for me. He could easily be higher. Don't mistake it. I love Brian Dawkins. He was the reason I played with the Eagles on NFL 2K5. Madden 2007.
Great game.
Madden 2007. Love Brian Dawkins. That visor, just the way you walked, it was something different, man. Brian Dawkins stepped onto the field, stepped in life. You sat down, you respected, you listened, you watched. Brian Dawkins could easily be a little further, but once I say the next names in my top 5, you'll understand. You won't for number 5 because you hate this man, but I can't disrespect what he has done for the game of basketball. Many people would have him much higher, but LeBron James and what he has been doing for basketball, I'm sorry.
Listen, he's one of the top 10 greatest players of all time. I'm not going to act like he's not top 5.
And all he is doing every single time he steps on the court is knocking down another record. I won't say it yet, but I do believe at some point in time, I will probably have to give it up and call this man the actual NBA GOAT. It's going to be real hard. It's going to take a lot. Bro,
He have to go play for a new team. That's what it is.
He will, and he might, and he probably will whenever Bronny gets in the league. Number 4, this guy. did something for the red and white, the black and red, for
Please
the
tell me
dirty
it's number
bird.
7. Please tell me it's number
For the
7.
dirty bird. Number 7 is number 4.
My dog, Mike
He
Vick!
pays it all. Michael Vick and
I
what he
love-
meant to the Atlanta Falcons. I firmly believe he probably still would be playing today if it wasn't for his bitch ass cousins who let him take the blame for some bullshit that went down on his property. But we ain't gonna go in all that.
Listen,
Michael
but then he
Vick
got to play for my
transcended-
team and became one of my favorite players.
He did. Hey, he transcended the quarterback position. A lot of the guys we all know and love today wouldn't be around without a Michael Vick. Book that.
Oh, yeah.
Number 3, another guy that could be higher, but my other two have a very special place in my heart. So number 3, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Like you, sir, I did not appreciate him the way I should have until about what time he died, but it was because he was my villain. I used to have this thing where if you were the best player on the planet, I didn't like you. I wanted
He
to
was
see you
never
go
my
down.
villain. I just was like, you can't beat him. He's just a killer. You just like, I was intimidated by him as a fan.
Exactly. And that's why I always wanted to see him go down, because he was so good and he was so unbeatable that the people who were able to do it would have been who our heroes were. And at that point in time, for some unguided reason, I had the belief that the Orlando Magic with Dwight Howard and Mikhail Pietrus and Jameer Nelson might have been able to do it. Them boys played like fire in 08, 09, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro, listen, they beat the AARP Celtics, and then they descended. Then they basically took on the rest of that bottom feeder Eastern Conference and basically
Dwight
walked.
Howard was a dog. Jameer
Bro,
Nelson knew
and
how
then
to play a
Kobe took
PG
the dog
position.
out of him.
I understand. But I loved Kobe and I loved to hate Kobe. And even though I was me hating Kobe while he was playing, it was because I knew who he was. I knew what he stood for. The Mamba mentality should live in every single person that ever walks on this earth. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Number 3, because these next two just have a special place in my heart. I don't love football without this guy at number 2. I remember 93, watching this man grab a screen pass and take it 82 yards on the Florida Gators for a touchdown, and that is work done. The way he stepped into the NFL for the Tampa Bay Bucks, for my Atlanta Falcons, for the longest point in time before I became a member of the media, he would have been the only person that if I met as a famous person, I wouldn't have just said, hello, I appreciate what you do, handshake. I would have had to take pictures. I would have had to get an autograph. I would have fanboyed my entire life out. Work done is the reason I enjoy and love football.
Also,
and the
partial
reason I'm a
owner of
Florida
your
State
Atlanta
fan.
Falcons.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as I know from a friend who actually lived around the corner of him here in Tampa Bay, one of the nicest guys and the nicest families.
Oh, a lot of like people have said like Work Done's like one of the, if like you run into him on the street, he'll like stop and talk to you. He's like a really cool dude.
Have a conversation and just enjoy
because
being
he realizes like, yeah, he played ball, but he's still a dude. It's like
he's still a human.
We're all humans at the end of
just
the day,
like
man.
everybody else.
Oh yeah,
Just like everybody else. Work done. The reason I love football and
God
the reason
bless.
I know what basketball is. Somehow you're number 8, but I get it. You 27. A couple different people meant a couple different things to you. Michael Jordan. I
got to watch MJ play once
45s.
for the Wizards. That's it.
Bruh, to this day, I can't shoot a basketball without my tongue accidentally hanging out.
Okay,
To
so that's
this
one thing I
day-
do too. Yeah,
To this day, I don't look down at
dude,
somebody I know
I do box jumps with my tongue hanging out. Okay, I pass rush with my tongue hanging out. It's weird. Like literally, there's a picture of me from high school coming around the edge, and Ice is my mouth guard here and my tongue like this. Because I just do every time I do any kind of motion. It's
Yes,
weird
sir.
for me. So I love
Yes,
MJ
sir.
for that. But it wasn't even because of MJ. It's just natural. So I always related to that.
I shoot paper balls in the trash and go, Kobe, and then throw the tongue out. That's
Or
you
love
put
for
them
both,
together.
Coach.
They were absolute killers. The greatest basketball player of all time
God
as it
bless.
stands today.
Damn straight.
Top 10. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's
All right.
fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the Corner Booth pregame was brought to you by our amazing friends at YeatsOfficial.com. Promo code Corner Booth for 10% off. As you know, of course, StreamYard is being pain in the ass. You want amazing shades like these? I know you do. They're great. These have survived darties, boat parties, beach parties, me being a jackass, and a 3,000 Corner Booth shows. They're still here. They're still around. Corner Booth official is the promo code, 10% off. Yeats official sponsor of Corner Booth and Belly Up Sports. Appreciate y'all, Yeats. We love you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can find this handsome gentleman at the Sac City Pod. Check them out. I think y'all just dropped an episode, yesterday?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. If you missed those, that's cool. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday on Belly Up TV on Roku. And if I'm not mistaken, Amazon TV, but I don't know if we got that yet. But definitely Roku, definitely Belly Up TV.
Hey, look.
Hit us up, subscribe, love, like, talk football with us. We're pretty good at it.
Tell Vinny his team suck. The usual shit.
Absolutely. We do that every day. We do that every day.
Exactly.
We remind
All right, but AJ, man, I appreciate you coming by, brother. And we
Likewise,
appreciate
man.
y'all for stopping
Thanks
by
for
and
having
listening. Next Thursday, another show. Also, Tuesday, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got national championship to talk about as well. As mock draft number 1 for me, which is going to be fucking annoying. I'm going to be up until like 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday night doing that shit.
You got this.
Bro, listen, the problem with mock drafts is I second guess myself.
Absolutely.
I make a pick. Okay, my first mock draft here at Belly Up was with me and my former co-host Mark Riley, who's coming back, by the way, to do a mock draft with me at some point before the draft, which is amazing. He goes, how many times do you have to restart your mock draft? I'm like, 7. He goes, are you serious? I'm like, bro, I couldn't get through pick 7 without fucking redoing my shit.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, there's a lot of variables. You just have to accept the fact that you will be wrong.
It's the wanting to be right. That's the problem. Yeah, so
just accept the fact that you will be wrong and be as close to right as you can, and you're good. You're Gucci. You're golden. Fair
enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get yelled at by our head of Belly Up TV. We love you so much for coming by. We appreciate you stopping by. Check out Sac City Pod Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube, and Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on Tiki Live. We appreciate you coming through. Check us out on Twitter at Corner Booth Pod. Also, by the way, vote for us in the Belly Up Madness Pod, not those losers at Pesky Report. Pesky, who cares?
We probably lost already.
Yeah, y'all been out since week 2.
That sounds about right.
Listen, AJ, tell your friends, tell your family, come vote for Corner Booth, the Belly Up OGs.
Gotcha.
We are actually the longest tenured podcast at Belly Up Sports, by the way.
Hell to the yeah. Well, don't ever leave because I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you for it.
Listen, they're gonna have to tear me out in a fucking stretcher, bro. Come on.
I'm
Jamal Adams in this bitch. All right. I'm just all right. I gotta go to eat some food, man.
Appreciate y'all, Corner Booth.
All right. Catch y'all next week, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
To get a chance to win or lose you that football game here. I like this discussion. We'll have to table this discussion for maybe Friday's show.